It's Eddie J on crypto. I hope you're having a great day. So I gave you a whole bunch of stuff earlier today. I was going to give you more, but you can go read the articles. Just peep it over at YouTube. Now I wanted to add some more stuff that hit my radar. Barry Silbert, the CEO over at DCG, is still having problems. Hasn't responded to everybody yet, and I think the DCG Genesis problem is going to be bigger than what people think. And when that gets factored in, that's what's making me think that things are going to go down a little bit. So we have this nice little pop that's happening right now because of some good news and just some, just fair weather stuff. But I think when that news hits, I'm hoping that, people are taking their profit while it's still a profit. I think that at some point this year we will start getting some significant ups, but right now I am expecting one more down, at least one more down. For those people who think they need to FOMO into something, like a Gala, I love Gala. It's one of my favorite coins. Don't FOMO. Just don't. That's not what I would do. At least, that's what I told my kids. Don't freak out about it. We have Gala, but don't go nuts. So I call it as the world swirls, that whole thing with DCG and Genesis. You actually had SwiftX out in Australia pull back their earn program, and I didn't do enough research, but I wonder if it's also tied to Genesis, and that's why they pulled it back. And they did it quietly. It's pretty slick on how they did that. XRP had a lot of whale traffic for some reason, and it saw the coin go up. I'm thinking that it's because there's been some certain good news and just general all-around feeling about the case with the SEC. Yeah, that's probably why it went up, as well as there are other things that are going on. I think XRP is off on its own only because they're fighting the good fight, number one, for all of crypto, right? Then they also have other things that I believe will make them blow up and just skyrocket, win or lose. Win or lose. Okay? That's what I'm thinking that's going to happen to XRP. As soon as everything goes away, I think XRP is just going to go whoop. And it's because of all the deals, all the groundwork that they had previous to it. Excuse me. There are companies out there leveraging that technology. It's some of the best, and it's crazy fast. Polygon, another coin that I just love. So they're in a partnership with Mastercard to actually create an incubator for artists. We're talking music artists, so DJs, producers, musicians, all that. And I think they're going to teach them how to leverage the platform and mint things basically for free, and then how to use them as not just a delivery mechanism, but for other more innovative ways. So that's a big deal to me. Again, I think that's good news. I don't think it's going to be the biggest news for Polygon. If you listen to my videos, you know that I have a lot to say about Polygon. They've got a lot of deals going on, a lot of good news. It's just a matter of when the big news hits. Don't forget, they still have a deal with Disney. When that hits, whoo, baby, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. Now, you would think that the Wild West would be over. It'd be over. You would think that centralized exchanges would get their act together and not try to pull any funny stuff. Well, apparently, Crypto.com slept on that, didn't get the memo, and now they're getting slapped around by the watchdog out in the UK because they don't like their advertising practices. Go figure. Again, I'm going to be digging in for my research. I'm paying attention to, like in a major way, to everything that's around compliance for centralized exchanges. And you're probably wondering why. The reason why is because I don't believe that they're going to have as big a future as some think. Unless they're adding on a whole bunch of other services, I'm expecting a lot of centralized exchanges to kind of not go away, but I think they'll just be folded into other organizations, other firms, because they have something to actually already offer. Unless you're an exchange like a Coinbase where you've actually figured out that you're going to need multiple revenue streams. Coinbase has done it. Binance has done it. I'm expecting a couple more to try to do it. But unless they're doing that, I'm not expecting long lifespans for a lot of these exchanges. They all thought that having some kind of an earn program was going to lead them in that direction. It's not if you're outsourcing that program. Feel me? It's not if you're outsourcing that program. All right? I said what I said. I'm just saying. So when I look at all this, I'm looking for major deals. I'm looking for sales. And when I say sales, I mean sale prices on companies that are not necessarily doing well for themselves, that are taking more of a hit than they thought they would, because they're positioned to get bought. Did you listen to my video a couple of weeks ago? I told you how Galaxy Digital came in and didn't buy shares, bought assets for a miner. I'm talking about deals like that, where companies going to be able to pick up other companies for pennies on the dollar, literally. So not only did they buy the facility, but they gave them a $35 million loan, which means that if they don't pay back that loan, they get the stuff, because the collateral is the stuff in the freaking facility. That would position Galaxy Digital pretty doggone well, right? It really would. So this is what I mean by being, just companies out there being snatched up. I think there are going to be a lot of things. I think we're going to see a lot more consolidation. And if you saw my video, I think from last week, I told you that there are a couple of analysts out there that believe the same thing. And that's what I'm paying attention to. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Oh yeah, that's right. We need to get into the numbers today. Let's go do that. Give me a sec. Let me flip the screens. Let's ditch that. Come over here. There you go. So when I look at the numbers, let me get the data on this one. Let's refresh the data on it. And we already know that Gala's up by a lot. We're talking in the past 24 hours, it's up 24%. It was up more. Think about this. It was up more. I think we're seeing a little bit of a pullback because people want to, take some earnings out of that, right? Take some profit, because it's not profit until you take it. Same thing for Solana. In the past 24 hours, it's up 19%. But obviously, you would track back to see where it was at a certain time yesterday, and you'd see that it was up 67% at some point. Gala was up. I think Solana was up more than that, and Gala was up 67% about. Either way, that's what you'd be paying attention to. You'd be paying attention to Zilliqa, which is one of those metaverse coins, which actually is kind of a big deal. What other coins am I looking at over here that makes sense to me? I used to track Waves a little bit, but just a little bit. Flow is another one that I'm tracking. It's down significantly. Look at this. All-time high, they're down 98%. And down 98%. So I'm paying attention to that, because that could wind up being a little bit of a buy. Cardano is down. It's up 9% right now, but it's down 90% from off its all-time high. Now, you really don't have any losers that I'd be paying attention to, because, I'm not going to pay attention to anything that's owned by Justin Sun or that he's got his fingers in. And that means Huobi Global. I'm out of that. Would not be paying attention to that. Lido DAO, it was already up. It's pulled back a little bit. I think a lot of coins are going to wind up pulling back a little bit. Let's start over here. So we've got a lot going on this week. If you go to Market Watch, you can actually see what the economic calendar is. And I tell you this all the time. Go do that. Go add it to your list, so that when you're doing your research, there are certain things that you're going to pick up on. So you're going to get, let's see, on Friday, we've got a whole bunch of companies, especially financial services companies, that are going to be coming out with their numbers. I'm not expecting spectacular numbers, but I am expecting numbers that'll kind of be okay. We've got core CPI and CPI coming out this Thursday, which is a big deal. So you want to be paying attention to what's going on. And if you're really paying attention, you know that Fed Chair Powell is going to open up his yapper tomorrow, and everybody's going to be looking and listening for, is it going to be 25 basis points or is it going to be 50 basis points? I'm personally expecting 50, because I think they're overly aggressive. Everybody else is praying for that 25 basis point move, but I'm kind of looking at 50. If we get 25, then I will be happily surprised, and I would expect a pop. Right now, I'm just looking for a little bit of a pullback today in prep for tomorrow's call, and I'll get in on this little dip right? Then after tomorrow's call, I'll be paying attention to that swiftly. And whether I'm in stocks or cryptos, that's when I'm going to make a move. Looking at the fear and greed index, it's at 25. So that's, we're actually technically in extreme fear at the moment. Just saying. Now, if you're paying attention to what I was saying before, everybody else is noting the $17,000 mark for Bitcoin. I am not. I'm paying attention to its previous low, which is 17.6. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that it went over 17,000, but until it breaks and maintains above that 17.6, nothing else matters to me. Nothing. Okay? Just putting that out there for you. Now, everybody's asking, do I think that right now is a good time to buy? And I'm going to point you to something, and I want you to pay attention to it. Compare, you did your research on the project. You believe in the project. It's a good project. Great. That's awesome. What was the all-time high? What was that project's all-time high? And then you can answer the question. Seriously. Then you can answer the question, because I pointed out how Cardano, good project, is 90% off of its all-time high. 90%. So if it's 90% off its all-time high, to me, that is actually a buy for me. Now, we can play these little bits and bumps and everything. That's fine. That's absolutely fine, because it's, kind of near term, all that good stuff. But as you look at the bigger picture, all those all-time highs represent where those coins could actually go. That's what I'm paying attention to. Do I expect certain coins to kind of fall off? Yes, I do, because one of the questions that I ask is, what problem are you solving? Another question I ask is, what problem are you solving if somebody else is already solving it? Are you doing a better job? Faster job? Cheaper job? Right? More environmentally friendly with what you're doing and how you're doing it. These are the things that I'm paying attention to as I start to look at that. Now, I don't expect any kind of consolidation anytime soon, but it is something that sits in the back of my mind every time I look at another project. Every single time. So do I think Ethereum is ever going to go away? No, of course not. That's nuts. Right? Do I think Polygon is going to overtake Ethereum? How? Seriously. Just, so it's a side chain. So that's what you're paying attention to. Some people think of it as an L2. I don't. I think it's a side chain. Still, it's leveraging that technology. So that means that technology is not going to go away. The question is, how does the coin fare? And those are the things that I'm paying attention to. Does that coin serve a purpose and move things? Well, if I've got free minting, I have all these projects running on Polygon. Polygon is it is a part of that connective tissue that I love so much. Them, Chainlink, a few others are part of that connection, that connective tissue. And that is what I pay really, really hard attention to. Anyway, this is Eddie J on Crypto. I hope I helped. If you have questions, drop me a note. I'll try to see if I can get to it. All right? Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.